All right, I think we're live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I'm just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. I seem to upset people when I say that. Good. Nothing like upsetting your haters a little bit. Get them, get them riled up. Hold on, let me link you guys the Facebook page if you'll follow me there. We'll see who we get in here this morning. All right, see who we get in here this morning. It's gonna be a deadlift kind of day. I'm gonna try to pull beltless today. Right, we're gonna pull beltless today. Um, Hopefully the skin and the waistline pulls back in a little bit now that I've dropped carbs down. But the scale's not really dropped yet, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, go back with that approach. Immortal Rack Pull, Dr. Rack Pull, afternoon coach, man, how you doing? You're a funny troll, so I'm gonna let you get responses from me. Here's my rule, Immortal. I've unbanned the people again. I'm just gonna ignore trolls completely. Like ones who are dicks. But some of you guys are funny. You're actually funny. It's all good, man. The difference between being a hater and being a troll, and I think people don't understand the difference. A troll just likes a good rise. They like to have some enjoyment, some entertainment. Everybody gets a good laugh. A good troll makes everybody laugh. Will you do Natty or Not on TNF? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Is that a person? Is that something at Denny's? Like a special breakfast at Denny's or something? Now I'm going to let them stay. I'm not going to let them rile me up. It's engagement. So they've been hard this morning. Some of them wrote me whole pages in the comments. Woke up to it. One of them wrote me the whole Great American Novel under my video comments this morning. Like, honestly, man, he should be getting paid for that much writing. He should be writing something somewhere monetized. Instead, he dedicated 10 pages to hating on me. His channel name is literally called TNF. His name is Joel Tewin. I mean, is he someone who claims Natty? He's a fitness person. What's up, Marco? Tell me about him. And I've already got a list of about 12, 13 more people I haven't even checked out. Right? So, I guess, I wish I could copy paste these things. Wait, I can. I can copy paste. Let's try this. Let's try to copy paste this name and put it in my little file. Why do we only have 4 people in here at like 5 minutes in? I don't know what's up with that. I need to get a little more lively. Yep, claims that he has a YouTube fitness channel on Instagram called TNF. What's the TNF stand for? All right. What is it? Is it stand for something? Is it an acronym? The new fad. Oh, okay. Gonna advertise a fad. I already know he's a douchebag. Even promoting the idea of a fad for anything in fitness. Oh man, I already know he's a douchebag. That tells me a lot. All right. That tells me a lot right there. So what do you guys have going? Like I said, we're going to do some pulling this morning. Like I said, I'm going to try to belt this deadlift. I'm going to see if I can do some work sets with 550 without a belt. You guys think I can pull it off? Because we're going to get that 500 beltless squat coming up. 460 was easy. Wasn't too bad. Then what are people going to say? Not impressive. Not impressive for a guy on gear, but I point out, guys, I'm natty, full natty, brah. And I'm 48. Sag Nick says, "Sup, Jason? What's up, man? I'm waking up, dude. Do you consider pasta a whole food? Maybe. I don't know. I think it means testosterone, nutrition, fitness. So he claims natty and he's got testosterone in his thing. Come on. I don't know that pasta is actually a whole food. I mean, there's some high fiber versions of pastas you can get, chickpea pastas and stuff, but I don't know that pasta is truly a whole food. I think we're pushing it a little bit there. Bread's definitely not. Doesn't mean you can't get some high fiber breads and high fiber pastas. You can offset some of that. I've been too sick to do the way to best cardio. Dude, I have had the flu, man. You want me out there with the flu? I still haven't done one in several days. He actually recommends TRT for people that need it, but still weird, he claims. No, Marco. Marco, why is that weird? Well, hold up. No, we need people doing that. We need people anyone who is a natty religious fanatic who is anti-TRT is a lunatic. Okay? So that's not weird at all. Like, usually the people who are such a religious cultist in the natty cult that they're against TRT, they're probably a fake natty. That's actually a mark in his favor. Right? Like, as soon as someone says who screams up and down they're natural and they claim TRT is bad, automatic fake natty. Guarantee you that person pins. 100% chance. There's no way I could even envision that they're not a fake natty at that point. Even if they're only 120 pounds. Okay. So no, that's actually a mark in his favor. Like, being anti-TRT is fake natty. It's a cope. It's an overcompensation. I mean, I've been training with it, SAG, but I definitely haven't done the cardio for a couple of days. I think we're going to be good for it today, though. We'll be good for it today. Right. So again, that's Marco. It's strange to me that you saw it that way, though. That you actually kind of went in the direction of thinking that that's weird. You know, because by and large, keep in mind, it's TRT is beneficial to people. In fact, I would go, and it pisses people off, but I honestly, if people are going to bother to use the natty tag at all, which is really a meaningless tag for the most part, they should count TRT as natural if they're inside of a therapeutic dose, because otherwise they're then encouraging bad health. You know, and that's kind of the point I would make. Why are people natty? There's really only one valid reason to be pro natty, and it's for health. Okay. Any other reason is like the vegans who are just want to have a sense of moral superiority. Right? It's not about anything else. So the natties who do that other thing, who claim it's about moral purity, oh, dude. Right? When it's about moral purity, that's a big red flag. That you actually know that they're a terrible human being too at that point, because it's not about people's health. It's not about keeping people healthy and being concerned with them. It's about you being superior and better than other people and having a public need to express how much better you are than other people. That's a big red flag in terms of personality. You know, people feel the need to express their moral superiority to other people. That's not good. Um, Jason, how often do you get sore after a max effort squat? I can't quantify that because I tend to do other stuff afterwards. Like I got sore this Friday, but I also added another really deep stretch movement in, and I went back to a back squat with no box, which puts a hair more stretch at the bottom. So can I fully attribute it to the max, or was it the sissy squats I did? But outside of that, if I don't change anything else, I generally don't get sore from a max squat. Thoughts on leveraging myostatin inhibition? No. Myostatin inhibition is a bad idea. All right. Here's what I would say. Have you seen the side effects of people who have this problem? Like they're not healthy, happy people. Like people who have a myostatin deficiency, who really do, not the bodybuilders who lie and claim they do. Oh, I've got it. No, you're not. You work out. I know you. It's not you. Really don't. You wouldn't be lifting weights. So it's problematic. Okay, it's problematic. Number two, how big are we trying to get? Like, is Ronnie Coleman not big enough for you? Do we need to add a whole new class of drugs? Like steroids, insulin, growth hormone, IGF-1 aren't people big enough? So 300 pounds rip isn't big enough. We're trying to get to 400. So why are we then looking down this route? I mean, and if you're talking about side effects, myostatin deficiency in humans has horrific side effects. Like you just you're not going to be lifting weights. You need to forget working out. Probably not going to be part of your life if you truly are myostatin deficient. So now you're talking about inhibiting it artificially. We don't need to go there, dude. Just stick to there's normal anabolics that are probably safer and proven at this point. We don't have to push this bleeding edge all the time, guys. I mean, are we trying to get bodybuilders to 400 pounds now because 300 pounds isn't big enough? Maybe we need to scale some of this down, get rid of these ridiculous, disgusting guts they have. Maybe we need to get rid of all the site enhancement. You know? Like, what would happen to pro bodybuilding if they really did enforce that? What if they said no insulin gut and we want to see zero signs of site enhancement? Like, including site pinning their gear. What if they automatically didn't get to place? Like, even C-Bum wouldn't have placed. C-Bum would have not placed in the Olympia because of all the site enhancement. All right. But man, that would be a different world. How can I build stamina with compound movements? Get your GPP up, get in better shape. Revival fitness is key. I mean, I've kind of covered that in that live the other day, right? I mean, here's the thing. The guy admitted he was consuming so much heavy cream and butter that he was getting diarrhea, all in the name of a philosophy. It's like, bro, there's better fats you can do. Pedro, I'm not prescribing you exact reps and set. I'm not writing you a program for free. You're going to have to hire me. But get your GPP up would be my free answer. Start doing conditioning work, get in shape. And so if you tell me, well, I'm already in shape, I do whatever, an hour of hard cardio every day. Well, then you're just not strong enough to lift the weights that you want for the reps and sets. Get stronger then. Those are your two answers. That's it. But if you're wanting me to prescribe you something, I got coaching slots open, brother. You're gonna have to hire me. Okay. And SAG, it's not even necessarily the fat. I don't have a problem with healthy high fat diets. Should I pay? Hit me up for consultation, Pedro. Look, message me on the thing. Drop. Oops. I had something else copy pasted. All right. But you're getting into where you're asking me to prescribe you exercise. Yeah, that's paid. Yeah, Ken Berry and Sean Baker are quacks, and other doctors call them out all the time. They've called them quacks. So the problem is that he eats no vegetables, no fiber, right? Extremely unhealthy. I don't care what else you do, just not eating vegetables or fiber alone is going to kill him. Yeah, that's completely and absolutely idiot. Yeah, Strap On says you're attacking no nice because he thinks you regret the fact that you're not natty. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, he's an idiot. Uh, do you take supplements? I don't think supplements help with that, Sam, for the most part. Supplements are not going to boost your immune system, sorry, unless you have a deficiency. Okay, if you're deficient in vitamin D3, like deficient on your blood work, that might help. But no supplement's going to boost your immune system unless it addresses a dietary deficiency. So your solution, right? Your solution is to eat a good diet. Measure by measuring tape. Oh my God. Yeah, for a person to demonize TRT the way he does is insanity. Yeah, I mean, it's demonizing modern medicine. I mean, to demonize men's health, literally men's health, modern medicine that changes and improves men's lives, improves their confidence, their well being, their health. I mean, low testosterone is linked to depression, anxiety, suicide, obesity, you know? So to be against that militantly and the claims of moral purity, wow. Stam says, okay, thanks. So basically a balanced diet. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it seems like he hates men getting healthier. ACS, I'm not even going to address your nonsense of that. You think RFK Jr. would change the entire healthcare system? I don't know. I like some of what he's doing with the diet, but some of it's going to be completely ineffective. Like, as long as we allow refined sugars to be given to children, the last thing we should be worrying about is red dye. Just saying. You want to change health in America? Make it a felony to give refined sugar to children. Go to prison. Done. Then they don't get addicted to all the junk. They don't grow up addicted to it. Then if they, let's treat refined sugar like any other controlled substance. You have to be 21 to consume it or buy it. Done. Then children don't get addicted to this stuff. Then they can make a choice if they want to poison themselves as an adult, just like you do with alcohol. You put people in prison for giving it to children. If you don't want to ban it outright, people say, well, we can't do that. Okay. Life in prison if you give it to a child. Done. That will fix all of our problems. That will completely remove the obesity epidemic. It'll get rid of 70, 80% of our cancer, most of our diabetes. Done. One move. One law. All of it fixed. All refined sugars. Cannot give it to anyone under 18. Next generation will be okay. All right, there's my solution, single law. But it has to be all of it. So the problem is he's wanting to ban high fructose corn syrup but leave sucrose. They're identical. The negative effects in the body are identical. It's been confirmed in many studies. And it doesn't matter that, well, the high fructose corn syrup is more refined. It's irrelevant. Your body doesn't care. It's like honey affects you the same negatively. So honey falls in that category too. Doesn't mean there's not some antioxidants in it. It's still the same amount of refined fructose. So so that's kind of what we need. We need him to actually put stuff in that's going to work. So just banning, say, high fructose corn syrup, but leaving table sugar doesn't fix anything because they're interchangeable. So all your sodas just get sucrose instead of that, and nothing will improve. It'll be identical to what we have now. So that's part of the problem because people have weird ideas. So it's a fringe movement that thinks that one is worse than the other. The research shows they're identical. Multiple meta-analysis at this point. They're identical in terms of the negative effect on the liver and everything else. It's no difference. Have you ever? I have, and I don't like when I've done it. I only do it when I've done it when I feel like my sleep was suffering. I'm happier on coffee. Like I'm a coffee addict. I admit I'm a coffee addict. But it also has some health benefits. Coffee's a mixed bag. You can have some negatives and some positives. So if you have certain heart issues, it's bad. If you're prone to certain types of anxiety, it can be bad. But it has some health benefits. Gen X, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Haven't seen you in here in a bit. We're getting coffee in. I'm getting ready to do some beltless deadlifts. I think I'm going to do some work sets with 550 without a belt and get that up and going. Once I'm fully caffeinated. How about you, bro? Yeah, Marco, the anxiety is a problem for some people. Black coffee when fasting. Yeah, I fast in the morning. I train fasted. Pull-ups or chin-ups, any preferences? Pull-ups are better overall for your lats. I think chin-ups are great, and I think they're a good bicep movement, but you could also do a bunch of curls. You know, pull-ups are going to be harder, but they will build a better set of lats. It depends on what you're trying to do. Right, depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, chin-up's going to let you move the most weight. And a lot of people argue, well, the most weight, the most muscles involved, but is it coming at the expense of some lat development? Like nothing blew my lats up more than straight up weighted pull-ups, even compared to chins. Lifting had a huge positive impact on my ADHD. Yeah, it tends to do that, man. It tends to do that. This cup is getting low. This coffee cup getting low. But I'm almost completely over my respiratory infection or flu or whatever the heck it is I had. I had someone on my Facebook got all miffed with me and pissy with me. It's a doctor who promotes drinking alcohol that I was training with possibly the flu. And I'm like, I don't miss workouts. Get over it. Unless I have to. So yeah, I did bench work yesterday. I did a full workout and the workout went great. Best exercise for back thickness, rows, and barbell rows. If you just want to think back. I mean, if you narrowed it down to two things, actually those three lists will give you a pretty good back. Just get good at them. I mean, you can do other stuff. I mean, I obviously do multiple exercises for lats right now. Yeah, I put it up on the wall back there. Well, I had people who said I didn't have it anymore. I'm like, what? Let me just put it up. I would imagine that lifting in relation to ADHD would consider them a form of meditation, which is a good focus exercise. You almost can't think about anything else when going heavy. Yeah, I hyperfocus. It almost makes it hard to compete in a meet because I don't see the judges. So when I do a heavy lift, I'm pretty much in a black room. Everything just kind of fades out around me. If I'm really focused, like I don't hear my music in my headphones anymore that well. I don't really see anything. I just lift. So I tend to hyper focus on a heavy set. Do you any special diet wise? No, no. Are you taking creatine monohydrate? Yeah, I'm doing creatine post workout right now. I do a protein shake and creatine post workout. I'm taking melatonin before bed. I take extra strength fish oil, 3 of those a day. That's my whole supplement stack. I mean, I add some potassium to my water. Does that count? Same with me. It gets tuned out. Yeah, you focus on the lift. Just focus on the lift, your movement, your body awareness, making sure everything's locked in. That's the hardest thing as a coach, man. I can't get some of these younger guys, especially with the virtual coaching, to just get some basic stuff. They get too in their head and how do I put it? They get psyched up to the point of where they use piss poor form trying to move heavy weight. It's a struggle sometimes, right? Getting people's heads straight. And it's only men. Like women don't have this problem when they lift. I've noticed that. It's purely a male thing. Like when you try to get a man to get tight on the bench, they won't get tight. They won't squeeze the bar. They won't stop bouncing it off their chest sometimes. Like even if you tell them, I want you to count 1,000, 2 1,000 on your chest on every rep, they'll bounce it off their chest like a trampoline, lift their ass off the bench. That's the biggest frustration as a coach with the virtual, because in person you can shut that down real fast. Like if a guy doesn't get in tight and I'm teaching them how to set up their bench, I'll walk over and kick their leg on their setup. And if their foot moves or I can move their knee, I tell them they're loose like a big floppy pussy. Tighten up. Lock that shit in. But yeah, you shouldn't be able to do, I always tell these guys that. Like on your bench, if I can kick your knee and it moves, like if I can just butt it with my knee and your leg moves an inch, you're loose. That is completely unacceptable. Does a 500 squat require good genetics? Pepper, that's a loaded question. I want you to think about the downside of that. Anybody can get fat enough to squat 500 if they can eat enough food. So no, you don't have to. I guess you have to have a genetics for a high appetite if you don't have strength and muscle genetics. But I mean, if you lift weights regularly and you're willing to bulk up to 300 pounds, even someone with bad genetics can squat 500 because the belly fat alone gives you so much leverage and pop out of the bottom. Right? You can bounce it. So I tell guys that gaining body fat on the squat and the bench doesn't always indicate more muscle growth. Body fat increases those lifts, and we know why it does it. It's been studied in the lab. So yeah, I mean, this person could get fat enough to do it. When you're talking about someone fairly lean, you probably need decent genetics to squat 500, like a raw 500. What do you think about the guys who lift with their legs up? That's called a Larson press. It's for people who want to take leg drive out for a bit. I have a really basic strength formula. I don't like body weight multipliers though. 2 times body weight squat and deadlift, 1 times body weight bench is a competitive total for most people. The problem is that breaks down real fast though, Jen. In other words, it's not even remotely competitive at really light body weights for men. And for really big guys, it's ultra elite. Like it's not just competitive. So for example, like half Thor can't bench 1.5 times his body weight, like when he was at his strongest. You know, so with your really really big guys, those are extreme numbers. So that's why I just prefer Wilks and Dots. Um, I like Wilks and Dots. I mean, they work, and that's the reason they came up with them. But yeah, body weight multipliers are also really geared towards short guys, and we know that too. Like 5'4" guys love multipliers, man. Do you think the powerlifter Russell or he is natural? I'm gonna catch flack for this. I probably don't think he is now. All right, most deadlift gains are muscle gains, right? Assuming neural, almost all strength is muscle gain. Neural drive only accounts for about 10% of your strength when it's been studied. But your levers matter. So that's one reason different size guys will have differences. You have differences in leverages, muscle fiber distribution, all those things. So if you're talking about in one person or their genetic clone or identical twin, only in that scenario, yes, 90% of your strength will come from your hypertrophy. Assuming no shifts in body fat that change leverages and give squish or whatever, right? But we're talking in the same person. Obviously, different insertion points, muscle fiber distribution, limb lengths affect all of that from different people. But just inside you as a person, yeah, 90% of your strength gains will come from your myofibular hypertrophy specifically. All right, coach, what kind of strength loss is acceptable when doing a moderate cut? On a moderate cut, you shouldn't see significant strength loss. In my case, my squat detrained because I just didn't care about it that much for a while, and I quit squatting mostly. But my squat's back up, so we're in a good place. Like I said, the goal is to hit 500 without a belt or sleeves within the next month. Now that I've done over 500 on a box again, so I'm trying to do all this raw stuff. That's why I'm doing rep work with no wrist straps and heels flat on the bench right now at 315. All right. I'm kind of in one of my little raw phases to where it's like, man, I'm just going to train in a pair of shorts. That's it, dude. That's all we need. Just me and the weight. Or other looks good. Press the site. Yeah. What cycle does Michael Hearn run? I think Michael Hearn is a nandrolone and growth hormone type guy. Very moderate growth hormone. I lost 20 pounds of fat and my bench went down, even though I reckon I gained a bit of muscle. Okay. Yeah, guys, give me so much crap for the shorts you wear. Exactly, Jen. Like they could call me a degenerate or whatever, and it's like, dude, they have no idea. Like I just don't care. I have zero shame. I'm seriously considering an OnlyFans. You know what? These dudes are so obsessed with my dick they can pay to see it. I'm not even kidding. I had a chick who wanted to do one with me a while back as a partner, and we ended up not doing it. We are not on speaking terms. But the thing is, I'm actually considering it at this point. I mean, seriously, so many people are obsessed with that. They might as well make some money on it because I don't have any moral problem with that. I don't care. Which gear causes more likely to tear tendons? Trend, Winstrel, way up there on tendon ruptures. The ones that are going to impact tendons positively would be nandrolone, primo, growth hormone. Right. Yeah, and that's a good point too. We can train in a way that addresses tendon strength also. Any benefit to knee sleeves, wrist wraps? I mean, wrist wraps if you don't have the wrist strength. But I mean, you're watching me do rep work and staying fully stacked with no wrist wraps. I'm doing 315 with perfect stacking for multiple sets. So, no, knee sleeves, people don't, this pisses people off. All right, I'm going to upset people. There's no reason to wear knee sleeves or elbow sleeves other than to lift more weight through external leverage. What about my knees getting cold? You guys have watched me squat 505 on a box in 32 degrees wearing just a pair of shorts. The knee warm thing is a nonsense excuse. It's not real. It's ludicrous. What are your thoughts on low dose Trent? I don't recommend you ever use Trent. Yeah. So that's kind of my thought, Jen. So my goal coming up is 500 without a belt. Because I know already if I can start pushing past 500 with completely raw without a belt, I have a set of SPD, super tight SPD sleeves and an injured belt. I can throw that on and probably hit some pretty respectable numbers at that point. All right. So that's kind of the plan. And then no one can deny the strength. Like if I walk in, I'm squatting 500 plus in a pair of shorts and nothing else. You can't hate on that. All right. I've been lifting for a few months without sleeves and these feel just fine, maybe. Yeah, it's lighter weight because you're not getting the external leverage. I've been doing heavy squats when it's freezing, did no lockdowns and didn't have any issues. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Jen. And that's the point. Competition, you compete to win. Although I didn't wear my sleeves for that last meet and I still broke a state record. I did not have on sleeves. I would have got obviously a better squat. I just didn't want to mess with them. I realized I could get the state record by 2 pounds without the sleeves, so I didn't bother. But because that's all I was there for that day. I was at that meet just to get a state squat and deadlift record. That's the only reason I showed up. So I broke the squat record by like 2 pounds and then skipped my third attempt. But you're right. In competition, if it gives you an advantage and it's allowed, you should use it because you compete to win. But in training, I think the rawer you can train, the better, right? Because you're going to get more muscle, more strength out of it. You're going to have less problem. Because again, you have there are negative effects to that extra axial loading and stuff, right? There are negatives. And I've always liked long phases of beltless training. You know, I mean, I've pulled 605 without a belt on camera before. Like I'm big on that stuff. But again, that's training. It's not competition. So that's kind of the thing. Yeah, I don't get why people wear any of this stuff who don't compete. Same thing. I mean, I get wrist wraps, but if you can get your wrist strong enough, right? Cliff, coach, are you Trent? No, I'm not putting the physique goals on the back burner. Hey, Cliff, why are you guys getting these weird ideas? I literally have a bicep day every week. I have a bicep day, literally a whole day dedicated to just biceps. So I think that you're totally misunderstanding that. No, I want to get my squat, bench, and deadlift up, and I have some other lifts I want big numbers on while continuing to improve my physique. Those are not contradictions. I don't know why people think a bodybuilder can't be an elite powerlifter and back and forth. That's such a strange take. I get that if you're trying to be the absolute best in the world, you might have to compromise on it. But if your goal is to just be at the world level, you don't have to compromise your physique or your strength for the other goal. I get it if you're trying to be number one in the entire world. You know, Like, yeah, if you're trying to win the Mr. Olympia setting the bench press world record at the same time, is probably incompatible. But if you're okay with placing number 7 at the Mr. Olympia and only the 12th best bench in the world in your class, that's doable if someone's got the genetics for it. See what I mean, guys? But yeah, but Ronnie didn't have world record lifts. He would be an elite lifter, powerlifting. So see, he had to compromise that to be Mr. Olympia. Like Ronnie only bench pressed 500 for a double. For him to be the best, he would have needed to get that up, and that even in his weight classes to at least 600. Would he have won the Olympia if he did that? So on. Same thing with his deadlift. He was doing, like 810. But at his weight, he needed to be in the 900s. So him chasing the Mr. Olympia compromised his powerlifting goals a little bit. And that's what you have to do to be number one. But I think for everyone else, I think people lose sight of that. There's no reason you can't have a great physique and squat 600 pounds. These are not mutually exclusive goals. Yeah, exactly, Jim. So this is where people are messing up. The thing is, though, is that you probably can't be a fat power lifter and do that. All right. And you're going to have to train your shoulder muscles. But there have been plenty of people who are good at both concurrently. I mean, it's pretty normal, guys. So no, physique is actually my number one training priority. So if you look at my training, how's it break down? About 10% of my training is geared towards powerlifting and about 90% of it towards bodybuilding right now. In other words, I do more total sets of curls per week than I do squat, bench, and deadlift. Right? Is that fair to say? Because I only do about 1 set of squats. I do 3 sets of bench, maybe 3 sets of deadlifts, right? That's 7 sets. I do 15 sets of curls a week. So do I dedicate more time to the big 3 or to biceps? My biceps have a whole day. All right, because my biceps need a whole day. They're probably my worst muscle group. So we train them. All right, we're 42 minutes into this. There's still quite a few people. Do I want to shut this down or keep rolling? I know it's called Coffee Chat. Yeah, I just finished my first one, dude. The coffee chats are always like that. I'm still waking up. And I'm still slightly sick. It's okay to hit the gym on a wake and bait. Yeah, dude. I train in the morning. I train fast in the morning. My weight can fluctuate for 10 pounds a day based on water retention, especially in the summer. We work in the heat. I think 5 pounds is pretty normal. Yeah. Chris, let's go to your thing. All the equipment is counterintuitive since most believe it prevents injuries. Good form. Yeah, I don't think equipment reduces injuries. Good morning. What's up, Paul? Paul's one of my clients. Of course, the internet doesn't believe I have any clients. How long you been with me, Paul? How many years? You think dips have a different effect than bench press on fat growth? Yes, I think they're very different lifts. They hit different angles. I'm a bigger fan of the bench than I am dips. No, I don't think Minzer should have won. Why are we even talking about Minzer? He kind of went crazy near the end. That's the problem with Minzer. People bring up the stuff and they don't understand Minzer was good while he was, competing. Later in life, he went off the crazy end. And everyone seems to think, and they didn't ever listen to Dorian. They're like, oh, but he trained Dorian. And Dorian has kind of said, look, he trained me twice and I took a few of his ideas. But at one time, Dorian said, he felt bad for Mike. So he just kind of let him do all that stuff. Like Mike went crazy near the end. The last 5 or 6 years, the stuff he was putting out was like drug-induced mania, and it wasn't even logical. Like completely debunkable, But sorry, that's a little rant. I'm only ranting on that because Minzer is blown up like everyone talks about him on Facebook nonstop. But let's go back. I don't know that he looked better than Arnold. Yeah, hit the way he did it was incomplete. Yeah, Arthur Jones was using him to sell the Nautilus system, and I think Arthur Jones, and people get mad when you say this, I think he was just a bit of a con man. He was kind of a snake oil salesman. And a lot of their ideas were just philosophies that are debunkable today and how the human body works. I have time for 3 compounds on my push days. Currently do flat bench, incline, and press. I like dips, but I think those 3 get a lot done. Look, flat bench, incline, and overhead press is a good combination, right? Do you think insulin is the cause of the bloated bellies on Mr. Olympias? Yes. Yeah. I mean, could we argue the excessive growth hormone and IGF-1 contribute? Sure. But you got to use a lot of growth hormone for that. Like, we're not talking 8 or units a day or something. These guys are hitting 15, 20. Like, I think that's about where they saw organ growth, and some of the research is around 15 units a day consistently might cause a small amount. No, I'm not going to tell you to take. I don't believe in pre-workouts at all, let alone Adderall. Come on. But yeah, the insulin, because it's primarily the accumulation of visceral fat that you're seeing. They have fatty livers. That's what you're seeing. Those are like alcoholic livers, basically, causing that. They have fatty liver disease. Yeah, it's diet too. Yeah. And then I don't have that, but I have the loose skin, so I catch shit with a loose skin, but I actually have pretty flat stomach. I get so much hate over that. Whole memes about it. But I still train in my shorts anyways, it's a badge of honor. And it's been slowly tightening up. BCAAs and pre-workouts are completely worthless. All right. What about non-stem pre-workout? Why? Fix your programming. Exactly, Jenny, because it's insufferable that you're not young. What do these kids want from us? Do they want us to have all of our knowledge and experience and strength and to have the body as if we're 20 years old still? That's what they want. They want us to have perfect, tight skin and no blemishes because they struggle to masturbate to us. They can't quite get a nut, and so it's a problem for them. All right. But they still do anyways. All these haters. All right. So Lamb, fix your programming. So then you have good training. I don't know what a triple blinker means, by the way. But why do you need a pre-workout then? Sounds like your programming is good. What do you need it for? Pre-workouts are because your fatigue management's bad and you need something to push you through. It's usually a programming issue or a sleep issue. Then you're burning the candle at both ends. No need for that. Jason, my blood work shows very low triglycerides are bad for gains. It means that's a good sign. Low triglycerides is always good. All right. I need a 315 bench this year. I think my chest is weak. What accessories would you recommend? More incline work. But I need to see what's up with your bench. What do you bench now? Rashid, hit me up for a consultation. Look, link me here. Get your bench footage. Give me a pay. I'll get a video call for an hour with you. We'll figure out what's going on with your bench and we'll fix whatever's wrong. Because you can't just say, my arm's wrong, I think my chest is weak. That's not how we fix it. You think. That doesn't help, dude. Let's see your bench and let's see what's going on. All right. My blood sugar tends to be slightly low last time I checked it. My fasting glucose is usually a hair below the reference range on my blood work. When I lost body fat, yeah, estrogen management got easier. Yeah, I mean, guys, for those who don't aware, I know Gen X Power here. We chat. He definitely has a GI tract problem. I think he has some type of IBS personally. So he's probably really sensitive to FODMAPs. Are you a fan of Sean Ray? I don't even think about Sean Ray. Not saying that in a negative way. I don't care. He was just a bodybuilder from back in the day who I never followed much of. I mean, I know who he is. Yeah. Yeah, Gen X, you probably just need to stick to a low FODMAP type diet to keep that under control. What are your thoughts on Wes Watson? No, dude, he's terrible. He puts on a massive front. No, I don't think he's a good role model at all. Yeah, he's a soft punk. I think that's a way to describe him. I mean, here's what let's sum up my opinion on Wes Watson. He's a fake tough guy who literally lives in Florida and carries pepper spray for self-defense in Florida. All right. If you live in Florida or Texas and you carry pepper spray as a self-defense, you're about to get outgunned real fast. That means you're just going to rely on the rest of us to protect you because the rest of us are all strapped. Like, he lives in Florida, dude. He doesn't carry a gun. I mean, what does that tell you about the man? I'm just going to be straight up. If you live in Florida or Texas and you don't carry, to me, that speaks volumes about you as a person, like as a man. So, in other words, you don't even feel your most basic social obligations to protect your community around you or yourself. You're unwilling to have even the most basic social obligations as a citizen. So he's a child. Yeah, I mean, Marco, he lives in Florida. He's going to threaten to hit somebody. They're just going to draw down on him. Everybody carries there. That's the culture. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Gen X. He can't legally carry. He probably has a record. I usually carry Glock 19, Rashid. Glock 19 Gen 4. I have an FDE one. That's my favorite EDC. It's not my only, but it's the one I most commonly use. Now that I'm in my mid 30s, I care more about overall health than I used to. Been doing some cardio like walking and jogging. I saw your weightless walks. Yeah, I think that's great. Jen, I do a 45 for my bedside piece. I just like the capacity. I like having the capacity on the Glock 19, really, and with good ammo, you know. But I'm very partial to the 45. I might eventually go to 1911s because I like them. But the main thing for me, I just like the capacity in a compact. Yeah. Tony Yu says that HEC is natty. Is this true? I don't know. Who cares what's natty anymore? Natty is whatever you believe is natty. It's a meaningless term at this point. What do you do for your, I don't have anything I do for scar tissue. You can't do anything about scar tissue from injections. All right. Yes, I know who Sean Ray is. I just don't follow him. He's a bodybuilder from way back in the day. Um, I've actually met guys like Wes Watson back in school. When I was in school, they were only just kids. They all grew up. Yeah, I mean, he's a child. Uh, I don't want to deal with YouTube's rules on it, Chris. And no, I'm not interested in making a new thing somewhere else. I just don't. There's plenty of other people who can put out more and better information than me. So it's not something I'm interested in doing. Does that make sense? Fitness is kind of my thing. This is what I want to stick with. Um, it doesn't mean I'm not proficient or knowledgeable regarding firearms and reloading and hand loading and ballistics. And it's just that there's other people who could do it better than me, who spend more time, and it's more of a full-time thing for them. So there's no need for me to do it. So people bring that up, and I'm like, why? I could do my fitness thing at that same time. And then someone who really takes the firearm thing as a full-time thing can put out that information, who might know 50% more than I do. Right? You know? I mean, otherwise, what are we asking for? My opinions on blue dot versus long shot and your 10 millimeter hand loads? I mean, okay, got to get to work. Yeah, I'm about to wind this down, guys. I got to get ready to pull. So, hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys and gals, and I will talk to you next time.